Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man. Battle for ages. A thing of legend to be handled.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Auntie's Choice. Artificial is a life that's sweeter.
I done falled off the corporate ladder.
Hey, everybody, look who it is. Are all finished?
Didn't make the drink, or didn't make... Oh, I see.
Less we know about all that, the better. But I knew you'd effectuate effectually. Right? Wasn't I just saying? Knew he was connected. What'd you find out? He tell you any secrets about Auntie?
Or inspiring stories about her career ascent. You know, that might act as encouragement to them like us, presently stagnating in our position of paid employee. Whoa! Just like normal people.
That's real relatable. I mean, we all done that, right? But I just never thought she would. 'Cause she's Auntie, you know?
Yeah, like she could eat a bar right out of the paste obtruder, the freshest and least natural it's ever gonna be.
What else? Can't even imagine possessing that degree of marketing acumen.
You could just tell people how to think and do things. Like to not constantly yell at you all the time for only just doing your job.
Those details were highly motivating, both personally and professionally. Real roadmap to success kind of thing.
Diverges greatly from events depicted in Auntie the Musical, the all-singing adaptation of Auntie's life story, which we've all, of course, watched 9 times.
Here, for your trouble, from all of us. Now, about that last person of interest. There's a former Spacer's Choice VIP in the brig. We tried talking to him, you know, to see if he had any useful dirt, but he's kind of mean.
Full of scathing invective.
Belittling, one might say. But, you know, tough sort like you might have an easier go of it. You know, we all been chewed out pretty fiercely before. Kind of a regular occurrence, really. But I swear, I ain't never...
I still have nightmares. Sometimes I think I hear his voice, and I start to run.
Likewise. Future generations will tell cautionary bedtime stories about that day. Nah, they got him set up like in olden times. They let everybody walk up and holler at him, throw produce and such. Whatever that is. Oh, that sounded very take charge. Have to remember that. Okay, we'll make sure you've got authorization to the brig when you arrive. May you effectuate effectually toward the agreed-upon goal state. That's the middle manager handbook again. Real take charge stuff.
Mister, any bits to spare?
Society, we allow you to take part in public testing, respecting your right to risk a few.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume.
With Auntie's Choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The big rift cut off tossball heroes from home, but our Arcadia-grown league is a worthy substitute. Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down ripoff. Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their promises.
From pop guns to self-propelled cannons,
Can't
I
tell
have
the
whatever
difference
size
between
weaponry
cover
you
and
need to
concealment.
make all your problems past 10.
That won't put posteriors in the seats. A blood sport.
Ah, wonderful. More of it.
Welcome to The Brig by Corporate Compliance. Please do not taunt the prisoners. Thank you. I know what I said, and I meant what I said. Visitors to the brig are required to taunt the prisoners, at least to the best of their abilities. We hope you've deeply enjoyed your visit to The Brig by Corporate Compliance.
Come to jeer at a fallen old rival like all the rest. Swear I heard from everybody else in this rickety tub. So far, I am decidedly unimpressed. Been some sorely lackluster heckling from your colleagues. Clever as barbs weren't clever enough by half. Not expecting much, but go ahead. Try your worst. Let's hear it. That was almost all right. Better than most. Pretty so-so. Got anything else? And proud of it, too. Why waste bits on something of higher quality? And pricier when it'll just wear out eventually? Might as well buy something cheap. You are clear on the concept here, right? You're meant to insult me, not just spout things that are true. Loses a little sting if I agree with everything. Anyhow, you done yet? Or you got more? Wait, you didn't come here for the express purpose of ridicule and castigation? So, all right, I give up. What do you want? Frankly, that any of these rung leeches have a thought to spare for me over all the false hopes aunties hammered into them astounds me. Look, I appreciate the attention and all, but does any of this benefit me? Because otherwise, you might as well just jeer away. That may all be well and good, but I'm from a real corporation, Spacer's Choice, where we believe in the inequitable exchange of goods and services. Furthermore, and consequently, I don't do nothing without something in return. Anything else would be unseemly. Name's Himanshu Tegulapalli, Regional Brand Manager for Tau Ceti, Spacer's Choice. Auntie has it in for all of us former reps, but me in particular. Been humiliating Spacer's Choice every chance she gets. You seen those display images mocking the Moon Man, dressed up like a baby? Petty stuff. Being completely one-sided. Till now. You bet. I want my turn. Figured I earned it. I mean, look at me. I taped a particularly scathing diatribe earlier. Patch it into the PA system. Let me have my say. Not on me presently, no. They tend to take things off prisoners, you know? It's weirdly universal. Also wasn't wearing this reeking thing prior to being staged for public ridicule. The audio cartridge is in an evidence locker in the room behind that desk. Bet if you just ask the guard over there nicely for access, she'd open it right up for you. The PA system controls are in the back room at client intake. Had it all worked out earlier, before I got caught. Wonderful. That broadcast is gonna be the finest verbal rebuke of my career. So I should mention while you're on this ship, Auntie's Choice has a few products what might improve your odor, looks, and breath. Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
Welcome to The Brig by Corporate Compliance. What is it? Well, you'd probably pay me to remotely unlock it, and/or ask me in a remarkably debonair fashion. All right, see that door behind me? It's suddenly somehow been left mysteriously unlocked. Pleasure doing business at you.
Can't tell the difference between cover and concealment.
Sanitation manager, Doc.
Don't have time for
Next, we have proprietary insight acquisition.
Tramicular. Any moment now. Approaching station.
Clerk those files. Next, Lisa Shaw in product development.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice. Auntie's choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away. Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice? Too much Spacer's Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what ails you.
Your favorite non-alcoholic. You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice. Auntie's choice knows that a better is just 3 pills and an ointment. Why choose just choice when you could choose Auntie's choice? Too much Spacer's
Attentional employees of this poor excuse for corporate plunder. This ill-conceived, off-brand take on an oligarchy. Say what you will of Spacer's choice and the other corporations, but none of us ever put big ideas in people's heads. But no hope is better than false. I swear, everybody in this company thinks they're going to be somebody someday. It ain't gonna happen. Auntie Cleo's marketing you a bunch of wishful thinking
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacer's Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I crushed Spacer's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win. From pop guns to self-propelled cannons, I have whatever size weapon you need to make all your problems last check. 3, 1, hostile takeover this.
Nice work. A sterling performance by both of us. I've been waiting to give everybody here a piece of my mind for some time now. You've heard about the Spacer's Choice and Auntie Cleo merger, I'm sure. But things went down a little differently than Auntie makes out around here. Auntie was attempting a hostile takeover, but we outplayed her, voted her and her execs out, and we shipped Auntie and all her diehard followers out to Tau Ceti as an example. After Earth went dark, Auntie was technically the senior ranking executive in Tau Ceti, and she used that to take over the colony. But everything she's been doing since has been quasi-legal at best, including her being CEO of Auntie's Choice. With Earth being dark, no one has proof to call her on it. What I had to say was more important. People here needed to hear how bad they've been bamboozled by that self-determinism claptrap. The rest is going to come out eventually anyway. After that, we can all go back to exploiting each other honestly. No thanks. Once Spacer's Choice is back in control, I'll be running this place in no time.
We can always do better. To you straight in my quarterly underperformance. Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now as a responsible...
I'll have you know my panhandling license is completely up to date.
Any update on the man in the Moon Man mask? Heard the announcement, assumed that was your doing. Wait! What?
What? But Auntie said the last message that arrived from Earth was the board putting her in charge. Guess that does sound rather convenient.
Wait, this is bad. Knowing this is not good. This sort of dirt gets a person killed. This may call for an executive decision.
What does the middle manager handbook say to do at a time like this?
Says here, unfinished business leaves one undone. Trim loose ends before everything comes unraveled. Well, that sounds rather dire, you know, contextually. Yeah, right. Pay you and you'll go sell the secret to someone else. And someone upstairs will find out, and we'll all get killed. Guess the executive decision's getting executed then. Attack!
Unfriendly company. They're not.
Give the worm in. I'll take care of him, Commander. Spy
I'll have you know my panhandling license is completely up to date.
As your chief executive, stood a healthy, cutthroat rivalry.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume.
With Auntie's choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The Big Rift cut off tossball news from home, but our Arcadia Grown League is a worthy substitute. Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down ripoff. Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their arbitrary rule changes. Bronzing is prohibited in the Tuesday and Thursday zones? Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sportsmanlike conduct is tolerated? Ha! That won't put posteriors in the seats. A blood sport without blood sounds like red ink to Auntie. Our tossball teams play for keeps. I witnessed no fewer than 6 critical blood force traumas in last week's contest between the Easy Heel Loafers and Spectrum Brand Bandits.
before I forget, here, this is for you. Thank you ever so much for freeing my father. He seems good, actually. No discernible lingering ill effects. Still, singing. But I'm so grateful to hear it.
My friend from Placid Waters. Appreciate you fetching the pitch ball Millie got me. And of course, the escort out of there. Though mostly, the pitch ball. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to see Millie again. Don't know how to do anything here, but I can sing to my heart's content. You heading out? Do take care. Again, much obliged.
Glad there are people out here like you. Gives hope. Both of us, well, we're forever in your debt.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed.
Blades, bludgeons, mind telling me if I still got brows, all you like. Everything I've got is fine. Feel free to go on a murderous rampage. If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it!
Any friend of the broker is a friend of mine. Libations or information? What's your poison?
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Ah, you've made such progress moving us toward an Order Auntie's Choice alliance. Everything seems to be going according to the plan so far. But we approach a critical juncture. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. If you continue working for the Order alone, it will likely burn any possible bridge with Auntie's Choice. So this is our last and only chance. That's not exactly the most reassuring attitude I'd expect you to have, but I am glad we remain firmly in agreement. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart, a bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. A wise leader is always open to constructive criticism. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be, but I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Very well. We are here to fashion the future after all, not litigate the past. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I'm confident that Vicar Levin played a part as well, but you can negotiate the credit with him at a later date. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility? Levin's methodology is usually faultless, and it would be a pity to scrap so much fine preparatory work. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
The plan is always in motion, much like you, it would seem. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. No? Go figure. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It was not the only determining factor, but yes, it factored in. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now?
As a responsible member of society, allow you to take part in public product testing, respecting your right to risk a few tests.
Make profitable choices.
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better.
Why, I don't know what you're referring to, I'm sure. Compared to how I treat my staff, I'm being a peach.
If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
I suppose you've passed muster, certainly not averse to getting your hands dirty, but the give and take of deal-making is another matter entirely. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's Choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive.
Involving money in science seems questionable, but having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's Choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity.
Exactly right.
I will want to run some calculations to be sure, but I'm willing to concede on this point for now. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. I'd be remiss if I didn't note that Auntie's choice also has scientists. Very good ones, in fact.
I am certain your scientists are adequate, but compared to Order minds, it would be foolish to pretend there is any contest.
My scientists don't perpetually dither with profitless theoretical impracticalities. They produce tangible, worthwhile results in short order, or else. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. I generally consider anything less than a majority as practically a loss. But fine. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. No, it is most certainly not. But if humanity only pursued the safe course, we would still be subsisting in caves rather than thriving amongst the stars. Being first inherently comes with risk, but better that I should undertake this endeavor than ask another to do so on my behalf. I am singularly positioned for the task.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. Good. Then we need not prolong this painful discussion any longer. Oh, how it's delightful to me to see you squirm. All right. I'll get you your weird chemicals. I'll even provide you our corporate discount, practically wholesale. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be. Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. By all means, know your worth and own your accomplishments. Perhaps when I'm more out of earshot, though. Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself. One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider. We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo! Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the Archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
I never would have foreseen this day would come. You are exceedingly unpredictable, Commander. In a good way. Mostly.
successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants, and covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes? You did so by entering the station. It was noted by the client intake specialist. Whether or not you heard or remembered this is legally immaterial.
Not exactly. Well, exactly. But not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. I'll have you know, we at Auntie's Choice are far from blood simple. Where's the profit in killing all your enemies when you can co-opt and sell goods to them later? Ah, tut-tut. No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
Bolster defenses to protect key assets. Some of the order-derived direction can be downright oblique, but this is clear. Auntie is our most key asset.
Admit I'm finally beginning to come around to that computronic little plan. Perhaps there is something to having the archive advise on market strategy and positioning.
Yes, I've begun to draw the same conclusion. Appears it can be a useful tool in the right hands. In any case, next steps. There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss, but we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Don't let us keep you.
As they say, time is capital,
Good
time
luck,
is bits.
my
You're
Amelia.
burning lucre
Remember,
just standing
you can't
there.
spell
Go.
heinous ascetic without Auntie's Choice.
It defies belief you negotiated a partnership between Auntie's Choice and my colleagues. I've no faith in my predictions now. Don't try to talk sense into me, dear. On this topic, I'd prefer to remain obstinate. May the plan favor us against long odds.
I'll admit, the coup caught me on the back foot. Always figured the console for a power snatcher, but I'd never put bits down on him betraying the Sovereign. They seem so tight-knit. Just think about all those posters of the pair of them that'll have to change now. A real crying shame. Me? Rejoicing over a tyrant squabble? Never. The Sovereign's misfortune is our gain, far as I'm concerned. The console might be projecting strength, but by my reckon, Protectorate's more unstable now than ever before.
Free trade and self-betterment galaxy, but we do so.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Anti-Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacer's Chosen.
I'm Jean Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I cleaned Spacer's Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Anti's Choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at